Thanks, Ross. Good morning, everybody. We are excited to be back in the Valley this week. It's always fun to be able to play at home. It's going to be the last one for a while. I don't think we get back until after Halloween. So we'll be decorating for Christmas next time we play in the Valley, which is crazy. So it's homecoming. This is always a fun week on campus. Just seeing the students participate in what's going on, and it's one of those weeks I like to kind of take a different route, and whether I'm going home or coming to work. I actually did that yesterday. I actually went all through campus, and just really cool just seeing all the work going on, seeing the Habitat home being built, all the effort that's put into that, seeing all the floats being built, and seeing all the engagement with the students. And it's just kind of something that brings them together and lets them rally around something all week long. So always a fun week. And we've got, as y'all can probably tell with my shirt today, we've with two opponents this week. Obviously we've got Wake Forest, and we've also got breast cancer awareness. And starting with Wake Forest, I mean, this is a 3-1 football team, a team that we were more than lucky to win against last year. This is a well-coached team, has been for a long time. They're unique in what they do, which creates some challenges as well. And it's a skilled team, probably the second best group of receivers that we've seen, along with Florida State. These are very, very skilled, well-coached group of receivers. The quarterback is very talented. He's kind of, they always have a guy at quarterback that's crafty. I guess that's the best way I could describe him. Crafty, gritty, can make all the throws, runs way better than you want him to run. He's tough, and that kind of seems to always be the mold of the quarterback that's playing at Wake Forest, and he fits that mold. And then they got three really good backs. 6 and 23 have gotten the majority of the carries, but that number 30 is a bruiser. He is a big-time thumper. So I think all three backs are really good. They understand their scheme up front from an offensive line standpoint, and do a nice job. So it's just well coordinated and creates problems. Creates some matchups and conflict with your safeties and your linebackers from a just RPO standpoint, patience. Just by the nature of what they do. And then over on the other side, defensively, they got some dudes up front. They got 5 or 6 guys that they'll play in the D-line. Probably not as deep as they've been, but the first 5 or 6 guys are really good players, especially that number 30. He is a load off the edge. Their linebackers are good players. Number 40 is a transfer kid that's come in there, and he's really having a heck of a year. They're very experienced in the secondary, and they're always one of the best coached secondaries every year that we play. They really, same thing as the offensive side, they really understand their scheme. And, they're not all things to all people. They do what they do, and they do it well. They understand, leverage and route reading, and just, they do a good job with their eyes. So, this is a group you've got to be very disciplined when it comes to how you execute in the passing game from a route running standpoint, and break points and things like that, influencing your routes. So just a good football team across the board. One we got a lot of respect for, and again, a game when it's just painful to watch the tape from last year. I mean, we actually played really, really well on offense, probably our best game, and it was by far our worst game on defense, probably as bad a game as we've had in a long time. They just big played us to death, and so we've got a lot to prove in this game for sure. And you turn on the tape, they'll get your attention. So that's Wake Forest, and then obviously the breast cancer part of it. What we're doing this week, this is the Tigers for Tatas campaign that's being sponsored by SD's Heating and Air. So we appreciate them sponsoring it, and then the Roar WCCP every single year. Probably about 10 years now, have been partnering with our foundation, and it's just awesome to see the community rally and come together, to see all the Roar talent, some of which in this room, just have fun with it and take a lot of pride, and then to see the community give, it's just really cool. So whether it's the shirts, we got hats, we got the bracelets, we got all the cool swag, and then Tigertown Graphics as well has come along, and they partnered up with Roar, so you can get stuff there, you can get it online, and just appreciate everybody's support and what we're trying to do there, and then just a little bit about a reminder of why we do what we do. About 1 in 8 women in the United States will develop breast cancer over the course of their lifetime. And in 2023 alone, almost 300,000 women and 2,800 men. A lot of people don't know that this affects men. Cass' uncle actually died of breast cancer. And so about 300,000 women and 2,800 men will be diagnosed with breast cancer this year. And on average, every 2 minutes, a woman is diagnosed with breast cancer. So, if we go an hour today, that's going to be, what is that, 30 women? 30 women will be diagnosed with breast cancer just while we're sitting here doing this press conference. So, just kind of, hits home there, and an estimated almost 44,000 U.S. women will die from breast cancer in 2023, and an estimated 530 men will die this year in 2023. So it's the second leading cause of cancer death in women, second to lung cancer. And one positive is the breast cancer death rates have been decreasing steadily since 1989, and I think that is a reflection of all the great work that's been done through research, the discovery of the BRCA gene, and all those things. So it's just something that we're passionate about, and very thankful that we've got a lot of great partners, and it's one of those things that I think really rallies everybody together, this time of year. So appreciate all the support, and all that WCCP is doing on location, and so tune in and continue to give and help make a difference, because it's definitely making a difference. And with that, I'll take any questions.
Coach, 2 out of the last 3 years you've lost the game before the bye. Both were at Notre Dame, but how much emphasis is there on just playing a clean game, finishing strong the first half of the season?
Make sure I note that to Graham. Don't schedule Notre Dame the week before the bye. That's what I'm hearing you say. What was the question again? I'm sorry. I just heard Notre Dame loss.
Finishing on a good note.
Oh yeah, it's huge. I mean, you want to always have momentum, going into the next game, whether you play the next week or you have a bye. You still play next week. You're just playing a bye, because it's an important week. It's a different type of opponent, but it's still such an important week next week to work on yourself, to get guys healthy, to develop some of your guys, to get some guys some fastball reps that maybe haven't had as many reps. There's a lot. Self-scout. I mean, there's a lot that goes into the bye week. So, yeah, you want to have good momentum, regardless. Again, whether you're coming in on Monday and you just won a game and you got to, play again this week, or it is a bye week, you still want to have that good momentum, because I think it's just wind in your sails as you do what you need to do that week. Yeah, that's our goal, to find a way to get some mo.
Do they look much different offensively? I mean, Hartman would be tough shoes for anyone to fill, but how different are they with this guy now compared to what they were?
Not any different. I mean, they do, like I said, they're very committed and do what they do, and they really understand what they do. It's very unique. This quarterback's been around. It's not like he just got there. So, he's a good player. And again, he's supported by a very, very good group of receivers. They've got 4 or 5 guys that can flat out play, and then all 3 of those running backs are impressive on tape. They've had a couple guys in and out of the lineup up front, so they've had an open date, to get ready for this game. So I'm sure they probably maybe get somebody back healthy, and they've had a little more time to do some things. So I'm sure we'll see a few wrinkles that maybe we haven't seen yet. But good team, and has had a chance to win every game. at 3-1, and it was kind of tight right there at the end with Tech, and kind of just boom, got away right there at the last little series.
Sam had kind of been in that system for so long on that slow match. It seemed like he held it until the very last possible second while reading.
Yeah.
Is Griffiths able to do that, the QB now?
Yeah. He not only does he do it, then he blocks. He'll butt block people all day. He'll ride it all the way in there, and then give him a nice little momentum push along the way, and oh, by the way, try to cut off your end with a body block. So no, he's a crafty player, and again, he's got some experience. It's not like he hasn't played. And he's a good player. You can tell he's a veteran guy and really understands it. He can make all the throws too. I mean, he'll throw the deep stop, to the field from the opposite hash. I mean, he's confident, and I mean, they must throw. And again, a lot of it's just the nature of what they do. It kind of forces the issue a little bit in having to create some matchups, because you can't just sit there and just play zone coverage on them the whole game, because they'll distort you big time with all the, forever RPO stuff, and he'll hit pockets. So there's times you just gotta cover them, and I mean they must throw it. It must be 10 deep shots a game, easy, every single game. I mean I'm talking about load it up and let it launch, and it just comes down to making a play, and we were really poor at that last year. I mean they made they either made the play or we had a PI, and it really wasn't much in between, and it was just a crazy game. We were so bad, and we've come a long way since that game last year defensively. I mean those guys are really playing well, and it's going to take a great effort this week to slow these guys down a little bit, and hopefully, but it all goes back to the line of scrimmage. You've got to try to create some duress, for the quarterback. You let that guy sit there and hold the ball, and you let the mesh just take as long as they want it to take. It creates some problems.
I feel like last year with this game, we were talking about that youth of your secondary in particular, and it's kind of a fun point, I think, to acknowledge some of that growth in that group specifically, because they were a concern going into that game because of that youth there, and just the progress they've made and who they are and their identity at this point now.
Yeah, it's just night and day. I mean, we were so bad, and they were really good too. You got to give them a lot of credit. I mean, those receivers were outstanding. They had Scary Terry was there. He's probably somewhere in the NFL now. I don't know where he's at, but he's probably somewhere. Anybody know? Did he get drafted? He's got to be somewhere. He was a great one, and then obviously Hartman was a great player too. And so they had a really veteran group across the board on both sides of the ball, and just a really good football team. So we didn't play the double moves well. We didn't play the deep ball well. We didn't disguise well. We didn't tackle well. Our technique was poor, and we got exposed. Nate kind of grew up. That was kind of a night that I think he in particular realized, he needed to get better, from attention to detail and things like that. And we've been the two areas that y'all know I said coming in, we have to be better with our pass offense and our pass defense, and we have really greatly improved in both those areas. So that's been a real positive, and hopefully that'll hold up on Saturday.
Yeah, you guys have the best is the standard phrase. What's it like to be one of the few programs in the country that could realistically have a phrase like that? And then what's it like for you to have your coaches and players have to live up to that every day or every week?
Yeah, well, I mean, the standard. It's the standard is. I mean, we started that when I got the job, and it's a lot of people, especially with the success that we've had over last 12 years or so. People think that it means the best. It isn't. That's not what it means. It's about being our best, your best. Best is the standard. Is about being and doing your best in everything that you do. It's not about that, and that's an inward focus. And I think that's what a lot of people, they again, as our program has developed, they take that the wrong way. It's never been about being the best. When you're just focused on being the best, then you to me that's dangerous because you're comparing yourself to other people, and that's a dangerous way to live your life. Living your life from the outside in. What I believe is if you are truly committed, I just don't think you can be the best until you get committed to being your best. Whatever the best version of you is. And that's what we've always said forever and ever and ever. We're on a quest for best. And, a quest for best. Well, it's the best we can be. Sometimes things happen that, are out of your control. And sometimes you're not good enough to be the best. But you can be your best. And I think that's what God created us all to be and to do. That's what all in is. It's about a commitment to being and doing your best. And I think if you get everybody collectively bought into that standard of, and it's not just being your best as a football player or as a coach, it's about being your best in everything that you do. Really truly making excellence a habit in every area of your life. So, hey, maybe the best I can do is a C in this class. That's okay. That's okay. That's fine. But if your best is, you can make a B, but you're settling for a D, then that's a problem. So it's just getting everybody to understand the commitment of, hey, let's be our best. And that's just a mindset of taking what we do have and making the best of it. And I think that's what successful people do. And I mean, the way we built this program was just taking what we had and making the best of it. And then just always staying on that quest for best. How do we get better? How do we become a better version of ourselves, whether it be as a player, as a coach, programmatically, whatever it is, and just continuing to go. So, that's really what it means. And, for some people it may just simply be, the best, but I just don't, that's never been our focus here. But I do believe if you get a group of people together collectively committed to that standard, committed to being and doing their best, hey, you might have a chance to be the best. We'll see. But you got no chance to be the best at anything you do in life until you learn how to be your best. And so that's what Best is the Standard is all about. And, it starts with, we break that down. It starts with belief. B is for believe. You got to believe. You got to have an unshakable belief in yourself, in who you're working with and the things that you do. You have to have a belief. Even when life comes along and creates doubt and circumstances happen that you don't like that make you not want to believe, you have to have a belief. The E is for effort. You got to put the work in. Nothing great's going to happen. You're never going to be the best version of you if you don't put the steps in. You got to have great work ethic. And then the S is for you got to seize the day with a sense of urgency. Every single day you wake up, man, hey, let's win the day. Let's seize the day. Let's have purpose in what we do. And the T is for toughness. It takes toughness to be your best because life happens, right? Life happens. And life happens and things happen where, you doubt and fear sets in and you don't believe, or you just don't feel like putting the effort in that day, or you certainly you wake up and it's just like, man, you just don't want to seize the day. You don't have that sense of urgency. Well, that's what the T's for, toughness, because you got to do it anyway. And that you'll never become your best if you don't have the toughness that it takes, because we all have setbacks and things like that. So that's what Best is the Standard is all about. Just being the very best that you can be, and continuing to be a lifelong learner. As you go through that process.
Some right-handed quarterbacks aren't comfortable going to their left. Your guy seems to be pretty good at it. Is that something you have always seen? Is that something that's evolved? Is that something Garrett's introduced to the package this year?
No. I mean, he's just, that's just a natural gift that the kid's got. I mean, you certainly work on, throwing to the right, throwing to the left. We work scramble drill. That's a part of what you do from a prep standpoint. But you can work it all day long. You just got to have a gift, and he's just gifted that way. I mean, he's an excellent pocket thrower, but he's an excellent scramble thrower as well. And that's just one of the things that makes him special. for sure.
Coach, 4.4 penalties a game, that's your fewest since 2014. 2018 team had 4.9. You said that this is one of the most accountable teams that you ever had. Is that manifesting itself in turnover or penalty avoidance?
Yeah, if we didn't have the turnovers, we'd be 5-0. But that's football. I mean, you're talking about these are our best players we got, the most committed guys we got, and sometimes in football the ball can bounce some crazy ways for you. But this team, I'm really proud of them, and they've done a great job from a penalty standpoint. They've really done a good job in every area. I mean, we've played tough, physical. We've outgained every opponent. We've had more first downs than every opponent. We've had an elite third down team offensively and defensively. We just have had, one really tough statistic that has cost us. And a lot of it's been self-inflicted. And that's why we are where we are, but we got to battle. And that's what I love about last week's game. I mean, that was like a perfect storm to have a bad day, right? The undefeated team, top 10 offense and defense, coming off a gut-wrenching loss. And, man, it was awesome to see our team respond and to see the veterans on the team respond. Right out of the gate, 2 6-year seniors set the tone, for the night. And just really proud of our team and our staff and how they've handled themselves and again, just managed disappointment, we're still on a quest for best, be the very best we can be, and just trying to find a way to win this game this week. And I love this team. I really do. I love how they're playing the game. As I've said many times, I've had some 5-0 teams that hadn't played as well, but have had a better result. This team just had some tough football breaks along the way, but those things count. And so we'll see how it all plays out in the end. But this is a team that's got a great spirit to them, got excellent leadership, and incredibly accountable.
We love a local guy, Tyler Brown. Can't seem to talk enough about him. Another big game this weekend. Now some conference recognition for him as well. What is it about your system that we see another freshman having that breakout year at that receiver position? We saw it last year, certainly. And then what is it about him that you are challenging with him now as he starts to see some of this success?
Yeah, well, first of all, just God's favor that we got him. He's a kid that we had been evaluated, but we had a kid decommit, and boom, the world's coming to an end, right? A kid decommits, and that we really wanted, but man, I just look. That's why I just look at it as God's favor. I always focus on who we do get. I go back to one year we had a defensive lineman that was committed, and he ends up decommitting. But we got this guy named Shaq Lawson who wasn't as highly rated, and I think Shaq's still playing, and ended up being a first-round draft pick. So, I just it's a blessing that we got him, first of all, that how it worked out. So really proud of him. Great family. He's a Clemson kid. I got pictures with him at the Rock when he was like, maybe a little shorter than he is now. He was a little bitty guy, and his dad, just really good family. It's really cool. This kid loves Clemson. But I mean, we play the best player. I mean, that's despite what some people may think. Every now and then, we want to win, and we play the best player, and it's all based on what we see in practice and what we watch on tape. And as we went through camp, it became evident pretty quick that, hey, this kid's going to be able to help us. And, but then you got to go play games, right? I mean, it's one thing to see things in practice and how's it going to show up and translate. And, right out of the gate, he's showing up, and he's just continued to progress. And then with Antonio getting hurt, it's just, forced the issue even more, opportunity for him, and he's taking full advantage of it. And that's what the great ones do, And so we've had a lot of great players. We've had freshmen start at every position on this team. We've had freshman running backs, freshman left tackles, freshman right tackles, freshman guards, freshman quarterbacks, receivers, freshman, I'm not sure if we had a freshman linebacker start, maybe. We've had freshman DBs, we've had freshman D linemen, the tackles, the ends. We've had freshmen start at every position on this football team over the course of my time here. So it's just all based on what we see in practice and competition. But he's a kid that's earned it. We haven't given him anything. I mean, kid's just earned it. So it's exciting to know that you got a guy like that that's going to be around here for at least 3 more years.
How much mental and physical toughness